everybody. It's me, Timmy Flyers Guy, and welcome to another episode of Timmy's Nostalgic Showcase. In today's episode, I'm going to start a little bit of a mini-series. Well, technically it's not a mini-series because I have a lot of videos about it. But this is part 1 of Pokemania. In this part, I'm going to talk about Pokemon in this video. And then in part 1, this is part 1, and I'm going to talk about the Pokemon TV show. When I was younger, around maybe 11, I was flipping through a Game Informer, and I was hearing about this show called Pokemon. It looked interesting. And there was an article stating that Pokemon will be making its U.S. debut in September of 1998. 1998. Before this, prior to that, I heard a story about a TV show called Pocket Monsters. Well, I'm not really going to get into the controversial episode about that series, but that's how I heard about it. September 98 rolled along, and I watched my first few episodes of Pokemon. At the time when Pokemon was on, it was on my local UPN 57 TV station in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that was my first taste of Pokemon. UPN aired the first season, and in late 99, Pokemon came to Kids WB, and that's when Pokemon really hit its peak, and it made it to Kids WB. And it was in good hands in Kids WB, with Kids WB. A lot more episodes were aired. New episodes were aired in 1999. Leading up to the big season 1 finale. But first, we talk about Pokemon. Pokemon's a story about a young trainer named Ash Ketchum, who ends up sleeping late and gets to Professor Oak's lab late. And the 3 Pokemon that he can choose are Charmander, a fire-type Pokemon, Squirtle, the water-type Pokemon, and Bulbasaur, the grass-type Pokemon. Ash arrives late, and Professor Oak has one more Pokemon left, and that Pokemon is a Pikachu, an electric type. Ash sets out on a journey with his Pikachu. At first, her Pikachu do not get along, and Pikachu refuses to listen to Ash. During the season, Ash and Pikachu become a formidable team. Ash travels across the Kanto region to collect all 8 badges to get into the Pokemon League. Ash succeeds in the season finale, which is multiple episodes of his championship quest in the Indigo League. It's an epic season finale. Ash doesn't win it at all. But the thing about Ash, he just doesn't give up. And that's what I like about his character. He also has two travel companions, Brock from Pewter City and Misty from Cerulean City. They travel on an adventure of epic proportions. Season 1 officially came to an end in 1997 with the conclusion of the Indigo League, where Ash loses in the final match in the semifinals against a trainer named Richie. Ash goes really far in the Pokemon League, but he loses, just like in the first Rocky movie. Ash Ketchum goes the distance, just like Rocky Balboa. He doesn't win it all, but he goes the distance, and that's all that matters. Then we get into Season 2 of Pokemon, where they travel to the Orange Islands. On that island, Ash collects the badges and goes into the Orange League. Ash faces off against horrible opponents in the Orange League. After conquering the Orange League, Season 2, which is the Orange League, wraps up, and then we go into Season 3, which is Pokemon, the Johto Journeys, where Ash travels to a different land with new Pokemon trainers, and new challenges along the way. This was the first iteration of the Johto arc for Pokemon. As after the first season came another iteration, Pokemon Johto League Champions, where Ash faces more new challenges. He gets more than Pokemon, and he faces a bigger challenge in the next one. Then we get into the third iteration of Master Quest. I did watch a few episodes of this one, but not all of them. I wasn't real at the time. Once I got older, Pokemon became a thing in the past for me. I started to grow out of Pokemon at the time, so I tried to check out Master Quest. Shortly after Master Quest ended, at the end of Master Quest, Ash faces off against Gary Oak and wins the Johto League Championship. Shortly after that season wraps up, Ash embarks on the new journey. In the next series, Pokemon Advanced, this was actually the last Pokemon series that I would watch. Time after that, I did dabble in Pokemon Black and White and Pokemon X and Y. Did not watch Diamond and Pearl. I'm only talking about the Pokemon shows that I watched as a kid. Pokemon Advance starts off with a young trainer named Ash Ketchum, and we are introduced to another trainer named May, a female Pokemon trainer, saying look at her Pokemon journey. May chooses Torchic as her first Pokemon. Her father, was a professor of the Hoenn region, gives her Torchic as her first Pokemon. Ash embarks on a journey with new friends. Also, we see the return of Rock and also May's brother, Max, as well. Ash embarks on the journey with new challenges and new Pokemon. After the series ended, that was pretty much it. And I stopped watching Pokemon at that time. I still played the games from time to time, but this is when I stopped watching Pokemon. But I look back at the fond memories of Pokemon, and how I loved watching the show every Saturday morning and every weekday morning. There were times I had to tape episodes, but it was all worth it because this was a fun journey. It wasn't only just a journey for Ash Ketchum, but as fans of the show, we felt like that we were going on a journey as well. Every weekday afternoon and every Saturday morning felt like a journey to each and every one of us. Folks, that's it for part one of Pokemania. Stay tuned next time when I talk about the 3 Pokemon movies that I watched when I was a kid. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day. This concludes this episode of Timmy's Nostalgia Showcase. Pokemania, Part 1, the TV shows. I'll see you in the next episode. I talk about the 3 Pokemon movies that were in theaters. Till next time, everyone. Till next time.